Math 0404, continuing section 1.1, place values and rounding. We're going to be looking at number 6, and we will be doing part B of each of these. It says round the following numbers to the nearest thousands. I'm looking at my place value here. And remember, there's a big choice you have to make initially. Are you doing a whole number or a decimal? So I'm looking at my ending of the word, and it only ends in S, so this is going to be a whole number. This is the first time we do whole numbers. We've been doing decimals all along. Let's go back to our instructions and take a look at those. So this time we are looking at whole numbers. We're going to identify the given place value and underline all the digits to the left, the way we have been doing. We're going to circle the digit to the right. We've been doing that. We're going to ask the question if it's greater than or equal to 5. And this time, the difference is we're going to rewrite the underlined number. We're going to replace all digits to the right of the given place value with a 0 up to the ones. So this is the big difference for us because before we were removing all digits. In whole numbers, we don't remove, we replace with zeros. Let's get started. We are going to the thousands place, and if you don't have the thousands placed memorized, it's perfectly okay. But what you have to do is go back to the table that we presented to you. So this is going to be our thousands place, this 9, and we're going to underline to the left of that. Remember, we always go to the left. So this 9 here is the place value, and to the left of that. We're going to circle our 5, and this helps us make a decision. The decision comes from the question, is this number 5 or more? So that includes the 5. It is 5 or more, so we are going to add 1. We've been doing this all along. Now this one's a really great example because what's going to happen when we add 1? It's going to increase. It's going to be like a little chain reaction. I'm going to add 1 to the 9, so it's going to become a 10. Then I'm going to add 1. Let's show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do the little addition here to the side, okay? To the bottom. So it's going to be 9 plus 1. This is going to be a 0 because that's 10. And then we're going to carry this 1. And it's going to be 9 plus 1. That's going to be a 0. And we're going to carry this 10. 9 plus 1. And we're going to write the 0. And instead of carrying, now I can write that 1. If you need to replay that, we are adding 1 to that 9. And it was a chain reaction. What do we do to the right of our underline? Remember, it asked us to replace everything with zeros. So these guys over here get replaced with zeros. Here we go. We have 1, 0, 0, 0. That's from the underline. And then we're going to replace with zeros. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just counting the number of zeros so I don't miss anything. And we ended up with 1 million. This is our thousands place. We have rounded to the thousands place. Let's try the next one. We are also looking at B. Let's find our place value. It says round the following numbers to the nearest 10,000s. We're going to 10,000s. Important initial decision is this a whole number or a decimal? This is a whole number again. So we're going to find the 10,000s place. The 5 is in the ones, the 8s is in the tens, 4 is in the hundreds, 9 is in the thousands, the other 9 is in the 10,000s, and then we underline from that 9 to the left, right? So we have this 9 to the left. These are the ones we're going to keep, and everything else is going to change to a 0. Our second rule is, after we've underlined, we circle our 9, that's to the right of our underline, and we make the decision with the question, is this 5 or more? Is this 5 or more? Yes, it is. We're going to add 1. So I'm going to do my little math underneath. So it's 9 plus 1 is 0. Carry your 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. Now this one did a tiny chain reaction. It just changed two numbers instead of the way it changed everything else in the previous one. But we still have to be careful with that. And then what happens? Everything else goes to 0. Here we go. This is the underlined. And then we have 0, 0, 0, 0. This is our 10th thousandths place. Now this one looks a little bit different than what you would think because of that chain reaction. So be careful with everything you're doing. Rounding is very specific on your rules. Last one. It says round the following numbers to the nearest whole number. Ooh, I love this one. This one's a little tricky. It doesn't say which number. A whole number means we're going to, let's take a look here, and then I'll erase it. This is a decimal. So in other words, we are getting rid of these decimals, and I'm going to do it gently because we have rules, okay? And so this is our whole number. Our whole number is just saying, hey, get rid of the decimals, and in this case, we're going to the ones place. How do you know that? It doesn't say ones place specifically. It just says whole number, nearest whole number. That means drop the decimals. Okay, so now that we've made the decision of the ones place, let's go ahead and take care of this. Let's do all the rules. We're going to go whole number. Here's the whole number. We're going to keep everything to the left. We're going to look at the number immediately to the right. This makes our decision with the question, is this 5 or more? It is not, so this stays the same. Let's do it. So we have 1, 9, 2. This is the underline. What about the decimal, the 4, 8, 9? Everything gets dropped. Why do we not replace these with 0? We do not replace the 489 with 0 because we are rounding to the nearest whole number. Therefore, we needed to drop our decimal places after we make a decision. Remember, we only replace with 0 before the decimal place, but in this case, we drop the 489.